All right, welcome to the Appointing the Wise podcast. We've got Ryan Smith here, another candidate for city council,
Right.
and appreciate you being on the
You bet.
podcast.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. So here's what I found out about you. You've lived in Brigham City for 19 years. You've raised four boys, and you're a business owner. Cover Up Screen Printing. If
Yep.
you want to look that up.
Yeah.
And let's see here. You like cycling, basketball, and making cinnamon
That's
rolls.
right. Yes. I was on a quest to make the best cinnamon rolls I could possibly make. I kinda got away from that for a little while, but yeah, clearly from looking at me,
That's why the
yeah, yeah,
cycling's in there.
yeah.
You got 2
I
sport
have
jobs
to,
at
yeah,
the
I
cinnamon
have
rolls.
yeah. Otherwise, it's terrible. Yes, exactly. Yes.
So,
I have to burn the cinnamon rolls off.
yeah, you're, what I found online said you've got award-winning cinnamon rolls. You've won some award, is that right? Or is
No,
that,
no, that is not right.
self-proclaimed?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. Maybe I won the award in my own home.
The Ryan Smith Award
That's
for
right.
good cinnamon
The
rolls?
best cinnamon rolls by Ryan's. Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess we can get this underway.
Okay. Let's go.
Just to get us started off, who are you, and what would you like the voters to know about you?
So, clearly Ryan Smith, Brigham City resident for 19 years. Had a business. My business has been on Main Street for 21 years. I've been in business. We've been in business in Box Elder County for 30. On December 5th will be our 30th anniversary. Started in
Congrats.
Tremont, and opened up a shop here in Brigham City. Brigham City's been good to us.
So where did you live in the couple of years that you weren't here?
So Tremont.
Okay.
Yeah, I've essentially been in Box Elder County for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah,
So still a local,
almost
even if
40
not for
years.
the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, Tremont, Garland area for a while. Lived there. Started the business with my mom, so it was family business. She's recently kind of stepped back last couple of years, so I'm running it, trying our best, and trying to make our way through life. As far as what the voters want to know about me, I don't know. Um, I've always just kind of, I mean, if you know Ryan, you know who I am. I enjoy city council. I enjoy being on the city council. I love it. It's taken me a few years to get there. The first 2 years of being on the city council, I I didn't know that I was going to ever like it. It was stressful. It still is stressful. But the more I understand, the more I love it. And I really enjoy knowing what's happening. I really enjoy having some sort of an impact. Um, I'm running again because I don't feel like I've I've done quite what I feel like is impactful enough in the first couple of years. There's some great things that have happened in Brigham City. Don't get me wrong. In the last 3.5 years, people might disagree with that, but I think we're better off as a city. We have public safety, our fire department, our police department fully staffed. We've got a fire truck that doesn't go sideways down the road. We've got another one on order. So all those things I think are impactful to our community, seeing as how important that public safety is and how many people we serve.
So it took you a couple of years to find your feet. Is that
Yeah.
what? Just the
Yep.
stress and
Yeah.
getting used to
Yeah.
everything?
Just kind of, all the terminology that we use in the city council, all the things you run into, this and that. What is this? Why are we looking at this? Why is this coming up? Those types of things were hard. I Some of the decisions that we've made, I've gone home and laid there at night thinking, "Oh, did we do this right? Did I do this right?" So it has an impact. Has an impact on me.
Okay. All right. And then,
But I am willing. One thing I do want to say, I love it enough that I spend a lot of time with our staff right in Brigham City. All right, we have good staff in Brigham City, and when we get our packets and we have things coming up, I spend time going and talking and getting what is this for? Why are we doing this? Why aren't we doing it this way? And so when I come to the meetings, I feel like I'm prepared and I've talked and I know what's kind of happening with the with the agenda items that are coming up on our city council. So yeah, I work hard. It's my responsibility.
right. Yeah, I appreciate the responsibility that you have for the role. Um, how many hours on average? I know I was talking to Matt, and he said that how much time he spends in a given week with his city council role
Yeah.
kind of varies, but on
Yep.
average, what would you say an average week looks like as far as how many hours you spend and that sort
So
of thing?
so, you have city council on the 1st and 3rd Thursdays, right? So those are the weeks that you're going to spend the most time because those are the things that are coming at you. The weeks that you're off, you're not spending as many hours that week to figure, it out. Sometimes I do. I'll attend staff meetings sometimes, and that's just an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on those weeks. On the other weeks, you're reading through the the agenda. Depending on how big it is, sometimes those agendas, there's a lot there. Sometimes there's not a whole bunch on there. So it varies. It really does. It varies a ton. Um, so you might spend 3 hours ish, maybe 4 hours ish a week going through all those things and visiting. I've spent a lot of hours before on things that were a little more difficult for me to quite grasp and understand and figure out.
Okay.
So I've spent some time. I've spent time on committees. We have committees that we're on, and you go and you spend time there. Um, so yeah, it varies a lot.
It varies. What would you say the most is you've spent in on like 1 week? You're like, oh man, this week has been beast.
Well, we had so I was on a committee, and we had some issues with a with some personnel,
Okay.
and not really knowing how that was going to work. We started at about 10 a.m. and it took us all day long to get through. So that would be my longest time. We spent about 12 hours that week,
Mm.
almost
All in one day.
consecutively. Yeah,
Okay.
in going through that and what was happening there. Got it resolved, and moved on. Um, when we have our budget meetings, when we have our so the mayor presents his budget and hands it to the city council. We have work sessions
Mhm.
for weeks in a row, and you might be 3 hours. You might be an hour and a half going through what it is you want to discuss and go over in the budget so that you understand it. But you'll spend, 12 to 15 hours pretty easily,
Mm.
on the budget in those work sessions. And so, like I said, it varies. Those times of the month, the April, the May, the June, those are the hard ones. But you're busy a lot because the budget, and you're trying to figure out, hey, do we need this? Do we need that? What do we do with this? What do we do with that? Where are we spending the money? So you spend a lot of time in that. After that, you might get a few things. We've had some city council meetings that have gone to midnight. So there's a lot of variance to it.
Right.
You kind of never really know. Sometimes you do. You can kind of tell.
You're like, hey, honey,
You're
go get
like,
up for
"Yeah,
me.
that's exactly right, yeah. I'm not gonna make it home tonight."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put
yeah,
dinner in the fridge.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, turn the lights off, I'll go through the garage, whatever. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, and then let's see here. If you're reelected, oh wait, no, before we get there,
Yeah,
so why are you running? What's you kind of touched on this a little bit,
yeah.
but what's the thought process there, the motivation?
Um, to continuity, you know? I've always thought that there are, um, lifelong politicians
Mhm.
I'm not a huge fan of.
Mhm.
People that have spent 50 years in the Senate, right?
Mhm.
I'm not a huge
I
fan
know
of that.
exactly who you're talking about.
I'm just not a
There's a
huge.
handful of them,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but I'm not a huge fan.
Mhm.
Um, but in a term, I think you're getting to the point where you're getting your feet wet,
Mhm.
and you can really make that continuity and continue on and make a bigger difference, in serving on the city council for a second term. As far as like a third and fourth term, I wouldn't do that on
Yeah.
the city council. I would my
So
2
this
terms.
would be your second if
Yep. Yeah,
you've done
if I get
more than that.
reelected, it'd be my second term,
Okay.
and then that would be it. I wouldn't do it again.
Okay. So you're just like, I and so you had kinda touched on this. This gets into probably something I wanted to get into anyways later, but, um, the the goal there, or you said you felt like you haven't really created the impact that you would have liked
Yeah.
to. So, what vision do you have for that impact? Is that something specific or
No.
just being able to, like, leave your mark and say, "Hey,
Yep.
I put a lot of time and effort into this
Yeah.
city, and I'd like to be able to say, 'Hey, this great thing that happened, I had a hand in that.'"
Yeah.
Is that really what
Yeah.
you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanna be able to look back and say, "Hey, these are the great things that we did while I was there." I don't think they have to be monumental.
Mhm.
I don't need, a Ryan Smith monument in front of City Hall, you know what I mean? Being
Yeah.
so great, but 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 something that I can look back on and say, and currently,
Yeah.
as I mentioned, that is our public service. To me, that is. I have great pride when I see, and people will disagree with me,
Mhm.
and that's fine. I love that. But seeing our fire truck go down the road,
Mhm.
I love it. I
That's
love it.
good. I could see it. It's in the same, like, way that, like, a woodworker or somebody who has a
Yep.
craft, or I'm sure
Yep.
probably pride that you have in some of the shirts you've
Yes.
made. You're like,
Absolutely.
I see that and you're like, "Hey, I did that thing. I
Yes.
was
Yeah. I had a
doing
hand in
something."
doing that. I had a hand in helping every single citizen in Brigham City with that because it can respond in a timely manner,
Mhm.
and we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
So
fruits of your labor,
yeah.
that's
So
for
to
sure.
me, I have a lot of pride in that.
Okay.
I have a lot of pride in seeing that part of it. There are other things that are, when you see that overpass being done and being finished on 4th Street, that'll be great. I didn't have a huge hand in that. A lot of that was decided by the time I was elected.
Okay.
But to see it finished, that's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great for our city. That overpass. It'll be it'll change what Brigham City becomes.
Yeah,
People being
that's
able to come in instead of going around on 1100, they'll be able to come right into Brigham City and see what it is we have here because we have great things here in Brigham.
yeah, and that's on Forest Street. I don't
Yep,
go that
4th
way.
Street.
I'm, I guess, south in town, almost on 1100, so
Oh, okay.
I
Alright.
would take that route a
Okay.
lot,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah. Gotcha.
it's just past the
Yeah.
pool, right? Is that what that
Yep,
is?
from the pool over the railroad tracks, yep, to
Okay.
the other side. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could take it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be great. You might as well,
Yeah,
right?
I'll check
It's
it
gonna
out.
yeah, it's gonna be smooth. Yeah,
Right.
you might
I'm
as well
glad
do it.
everyone's detoured right now because of it, but that's fair. Yeah, just not a part of town that I go too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so if reelected, what are, like, your top 3 priorities? What is you've got the experience of what you've done in the past, was it 4 years as a term?
Yep.
And then now you're looking forward to, these next 4 potentially. What are, like, your top 3 things you're like, "This is what I'd like to make an impact on?"
To name 3 specific things, I don't know that I have 3 specific things.
Okay.
To me, I have thoughts.
Mhm.
We have infrastructure in Brigham that needs attention. We have, what are some of the things that I the power in Brigham City, making sure that we have, sustainable power for our utilities. That's important to me, and I want to work hard to make sure that we, with our staff in Brigham, to make sure that we have that in the future, that we
Is
can bring, more commerce here and have the power, and to make it so that you and I don't pay a whole bunch in our homes.
So is that kind of like a self-reliance thing? Like, we're gonna have some sort of power
Some of it will
creating
be. Yeah,
facility here in
absolutely.
town?
Yeah, we will have. We'll have a gas generated power, for peak times. We call
Mhm,
them peakers,
mhm.
gas generated. So in the evenings, in the summertime, especially when the air conditioning is on, everybody goes home from work, kicks the air conditioning on, and the power draw becomes more,
Yeah,
then we can turn these on, and that will help mitigate those power costs to you and me.
instead of having to pay a
So
high
instead of going
rates
to a
for
market and
getting
purchasing that for at
a
whatever
premium.
rate, yep, well, we can generate some of our own.
Gotcha.
That'll be huge.
Yeah.
It'll be good for us.
Right, and then
Um,
if we don't need it, then we can sell that extra
sure,
somewhere else.
absolutely. Yeah, gas prices get too high, we sell the gas to someone else. All of those things will help us.
So do we have it's gas powered, do we
Yep.
have a means of where's that gas coming
Oh,
from?
we have 2 giant gas pipes coming into Brigham. So we have one right at Sardine Canyon and
Okay,
the other one on the north of the airport. There's 2 giant ones.
okay,
So there's tons of natural gas coming right through Brigham City.
okay.
This particular peaker plant's gonna be right there at the mouth of the canyon. It'll be a couple of gas engines and fire up when they need them. It'll be it'll be good.
Cool.
Yeah. So stuff
Alright.
like that, yeah. Long-term contracts, being able to procure that power, um, at a reasonable rate. Yeah, those are the types of things that I'd be excited to see for Brigham City.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, face it, Brigham City hasn't grown a ton, right? Last 30 years. You know how many more people are in Brigham City now than was in 1990?
Uh, I'm gonna
If you
guess
had to guess.
twice.
Twice?
I'd say twice.
Okay. So I printed out this piece of paper because I wanted to bring it.
Okay.
What does that look like?
We're looking from 1990, the population was 15,644, and to today, we're looking at, uh, 20,319,
Yep.
so a grand total of what, 5,000 extra
Yeah.
people?
5,000 people
Just
over
about
30
5,000.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a ton of growth,
That's not crazy,
right?
no. Yeah.
Surprise you?
A little bit, yeah. With the I don't know how many of those Shopco apartments have people in them right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I
don't
have
know
no
how many
idea.
I could feel. That seems like that's like half of it.
Yeah, but I'll bet you those people that are there
Yeah,
are grateful for a place to live.
yeah,
You know, that gives them an opportunity to have a home, a roof over their head that hopefully they can afford,
yeah.
and that's a big
I
deal, right?
yeah. I don't know
I
if
mean,
they
I
can.
know you
I don't know how
mentioned.
much that
I
costs.
don't know how much.
That's probably more than my mortgage
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, probably more than mine. But you mentioned in the city
Yeah,
council meeting when you were there, and in one of your podcasts that you had lived in an apartment.
I
Was
have.
that
Yeah, for a
was
while.
that when you were married?
Yeah, yep,
Okay,
yep,
all right,
absolutely.
and a blessing to you to have
The
a place to
ability.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to choose where I lived, but
Okay.
yes,
Yeah, okay. All right. But
did.
there was a place
I
to
was at
live.
college for a good
Yeah.
chunk of it, and then West Haven. Yeah, mostly West Haven
Yeah.
and Roy. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So those are the things I worry about for the future of Brigham City. Right. I have four boys. One of them doesn't. My oldest lives in Salt Lake.
Mhm.
Okay. He pays dumb, dumb amounts for rent. Like, I just he loves Salt Lake, so he lives there. That's fine. My number two son lives in Logan. Stupid amounts for rent over in Logan. It's even dumber, I think.
Mhm.
You know, and my other two boys at home, one of them is like, Dad, I don't know, I can't afford to go anywhere,
Mhm.
and so that weighs heavy on me. You mentioned you have two kids.
Yeah.
That's gonna it'd be the same thing
Yeah.
facing them. And so, how do we combat that? What do we do in Brigham City to make it so people can afford to live here? How do we combat that?
Yeah, so I don't know that we can. I don't know that that's our battle necessarily. So my thoughts,
Okay.
since
No, I love
you
it.
kind of
Yeah.
brought up
Yeah.
this,
Please, let's
this is
go.
my pet thing,
That's right.
is I don't know that I know that the housing crisis isn't just a Brigham thing.
It's true.
It's not just a Utah thing.
Nope.
And I don't know that it's Brigham's responsibility to try to solve the issue. In my mind, um, I'm sure there's things that we can do, and based on the houses that I've seen pop up in the apartments and the plans that we have,
Mhm.
I would say we've probably done our part as far as what that looks like.
Okay.
I think that if that we are starting to expand quickly, and that comes with costs.
Okay.
Obviously, brought up in the other three podcasts, everything I brought up in the city council meetings is that if you expand too quickly, you've got other externalities that apply. So talking about Shopco, like yeah,
Yeah.
I've lived in apartments. I don't begrudge the people who have to live in apartments.
Okay.
I don't know that that solves the problem, and I do know that if there are too many people stacked on top of each other, the two problems I see is I guess it increases density, but maybe more of an issue for me is that I know that when I was living in an apartment, I was transient and that I wasn't like married to that apartment. If I found another
Yep.
apartment elsewhere,
Yeah.
then I would be willing to go there.
Yes.
And so how I voted, well, I didn't really vote a lot. And I don't know how other people handle that. But either way, I didn't have a vested interest in the long term future of the community that I lived in, being there short term. That's the issue. And that is, I guess the best way I can articulate that is I know what Brigham was when I came,
Okay.
and I've already seen Shopco
Okay.
go up into apartments,
All right.
the Blue Heron thing. I don't mind the townhomes over by the soccer fields, that kind of thing. So I don't know. All of that to say, I've hashed this out in the other episodes, but it seems like a lot.
Okay.
And I know that you had mentioned in one of the things that you posted online, it was I had it written here. Um, Preserving the character of the community
Okay.
is something you said that's important
Yep.
to you, and that is why I'm here.
Okay.
Part of the reason is because I can't live in Syracuse, so I didn't get to live in the hometown my parents lived in. I don't know based on what they've done to it, how much I want to, and now that
Syracuse has
I've
changed a
been
lot.
required, yeah,
Yeah.
right, and Layton's a nightmare. And so like I like Brigham. If I could live closer to my parents, I probably would if I could afford it.
Okay.
But the next best thing is being able to live in a smaller town that's 40 minutes away.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's
Yeah.
what you guys wanted to hear, but that's you kind of addressed it to me, so I just wanted to.
You're going to run into that same situation with your own kids,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
When
Yeah,
your
I
own
don't know
kids
what
want to
they'll
live
do.
close to you, but they can't.
Maybe. Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know that
as far
that's
as
their right to be able to choose that. I don't know that's something I would have control over. That's
okay.
kind of life, and I don't know that they don't have a right to live in the city that they grew up in.
You're right.
I didn't.
Exactly. Yes,
And
sure,
so,
sure.
but I would like I would like
Why?
I'd like the city that they grow up in to be like the city I moved into, and at some point, if they're able to find a home, a permanent home, I guess it would be hopefully in traveling distance,
So is
but that's
the
not my right.
so is the housing and the houses in
Mhm.
a city, is that what is the what did I say? Preserving the
Preserving the character of the community.
so is that the character of the community?
I think
Do
it
you think that's what that is?
I think that it is deep I think it is significantly impacted, yeah, because the small town feel that you have
Okay,
is having those relationships, having lived in apartments. I didn't know my neighbors.
okay,
I didn't know my neighbors until I had a house, really. Uh, I knew maybe people in my ward,
okay.
but it wasn't, I don't know, that maybe that's a me thing, but it wasn't super conducive to that. And I know that atomizing of the populace that lives in Brigham is accelerated, I think, by having higher density houses
Okay.
versus a lot of land, even if that lot of land is about 3 feet around the outside walls of
Sure,
your house,
7,000 square foot lot.
whatever it
Yep.
is, but you still own that land. You have a responsibility to your neighbors because you're going to be stuck next to them. You don't just get to move out,
Yep.
and so there's a responsibility there. So for whatever that's worth,
Okay.
but
All right. See, and I fully believe that some of that with a small town is the people in the town,
hmm
right? So if you have what, and let's fast forward through that through 20 years. If you have single home dwellings,
hmm
and that's all you build in the city, what happens? Do you think? In my, as I've read through things of people in
hmm
other communities, and that's what they've done. They
hmm
kind of get rid of some of that high, their property tax values go obscene, right? Because you don't
hmm
have those, you don't have some of the things to offset those. All just a bunch of houses, single family homes. It's cost you more,
why is that?
and I don't know the exact reasons behind all of those things,
hmm
but if you have, take Brigham City now, how hard is it to go and buy a home in Brigham City?
Uh,
And I don't want to,
I don't know. I haven't done it for 4 years,
and I don't,
and I don't ever want to
yeah,
again.
yeah,
I don't
right.
have to.
It's
Interest rates are low enough. I
yeah,
don't care.
it's right. It's crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's
It,
gone up since I bought
yeah,
my house. That's
and
fair.
the reasoning behind that, what is that? Right? It's because we have kids. First of all, you
Mhm,
and I, we have kids,
mhm.
and those kids grow up, and they have to have somewhere to live as well. And I don't, in my heart of hearts, the a single family dwelling is not the answer to those. You've got to have a mix of that.
Yeah,
You've got to have a
I
mix.
think we have a mix now, and I think we can. I guess my rebuttal to that, I
Sure.
guess we'll
Yeah.
say this debate,
Please.
is that at what pace and at what costs? Because I think there are trade offs, and I think we are starting to see. An example I've already used is the schools are already overloaded. If we build more apartments, that problem doesn't solve itself. And we've already seen what the schools needed to do to keep up with that with the tax increase.
Okay.
And so with water,
Schools
with energy,
or are they old?
I
I
don't
was
know.
under the impression that they were very old. High
Uh,
schools, they were going to bring the ninth graders back, so they needed to get bigger.
well, I know that they've increased the portables at Lakeview. That's where my kids go
Yep.
to school,
Okay.
and that would I think that would
The school
indicate
was also very
that's so I if they met in a barn, I don't know how much that matters to me. If I'm being honest, like I know they were able to pull that off. I don't know. That's probably not a popular opinion, but they don't have air conditioning, and
yeah,
they're okay. Like they'll be okay as long as they're
and they
safe.
will, right?
But the number of students, I think, is increasing in at least at Lakeview.
Okay.
So again,
Fair
and
enough.
if it's not the school, those apartments need water. That increases. I know there's been talk in Utah of um, like droughts and
Yep.
overuse of water. The more people you allow to live in a certain geographical area, the more water draw they're going to have, and then they're going to be like, "Hey, you can't have a lawn because we don't have enough water." So you zero escape. It's like, well, I like having a lawn. You can play soccer with my kids. So,
So
anyways,
Brigham City has, we've been blessed. Brigham City has been blessed with water. That's one of the great things that we do have
mhm,
in this area. Um, we have water. We have we have good amounts of water. We want to just build a bunch of houses. Like I go to St. George quite a bit. As
mhm.
you look at St. George and you think, where do you guys get all your water? You guys keep building all these homes,
Mhm.
and there's tons of water. I don't know the answer because I don't. Because it
I
blows
don't
my mind every time
right.
I go.
I don't know where they
Go
get
to
it
these
from.
great towns.
How's the same was that? I don't know.
Yeah, but
That is a concern.
yeah, but we have good water here in Breeze,
Mhm,
and it's great. And the apartments. where Shopco was. I
Yeah,
understand. I can get
yeah,
your point of view,
right,
100%.
right, or the Blue Heron subdivision that's coming
Yep.
in. I've
Yeah,
I know,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. So look, and we'll talk about that too. So the apartments, would you have rather had some apartments there, or would you rather look at Shopko? You looked at
Um,
Shopko for a decade, right?
mhm,
Almost,
right.
just run down,
Do you know why that is?
homeless,
Yeah, I don't know if you have
drugs.
city council
Yeah, yeah,
insight to that. You can help explain that
sure.
to me, because I don't know that I'd rather the one, but I don't know enough about what Shopko was when it was just empty.
Yeah, so there was quite a bit of homeless people.
Mhm,
Kids were all the time breaking into that,
mhm,
climbing around. There was drug use going on in there.
mhm,
Um, so yeah, there was a lot of it was run down, and people say that, this is an unpopular opinion,
mhm,
okay? But as you drive down Main Street and you look, would you rather see this old rundown building as you first come into Brigham City,
mhm.
or these apartments? Those apartments don't look bad.
They don't I give
They're very nice looking apartments.
their apartments, but yes,
The
yeah.
second half of that, yeah, the second half of that is that 30 years ago, when Wendy's, or 20 years ago when Wendy's was there, they had a thing in their contract that said that they had the right built into them to decide what went in that
Mhm,
Shopko ever lived.
mhm,
And so, in trying to get other things
yeah,
in there, Wendy's would say, "No, we don't want that.
mhm.
No, we don't want that." And so, at a certain point, it leaves us with
What can
only
we
a
do with
few
it?
options.
What can we do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So,
might have been the best of not great decisions maybe,
sure.
or great
Yeah.
options.
Yeah.
Is there
And I don't know
I've
all of the options, but
and you may know this, I know that other businesses have left Brigham and gone on the other side of the highway, or,
okay.
across 1100.
Two.
Well, I know the DI is moving over there. I know
Okay.
Ford's moved, and I know that Dodge has moved.
Yep.
So I don't know, do we
Ford
know
is in
why that
Brigham
is?
City.
Ford is technically in
Yeah.
Brigham, but
I'll tell you why that is. 1100 South.
is that which one's Ford? Is the Ford by the Maverick, is Ford is the one by Walmart, and that's technically Brigham? Oh, then I guess I thought I knew the boundaries of Brigham, apparently I don't.
So
That's
Walmart
yeah,
is in
isn't
Perry.
Perry.
Walmart's parking lot is
Mhm.
in Brigham City.
Okay.
The Ford dealership is in Brigham City. The
Mhm,
back third of their parking lot is
mhm.
in Perry.
So was that just a,
It's 1100 South.
yeah, I was about to say
There's
that's
24,000.
location, location,
Yeah,
location, right? That's what it
24,000
is.
vehicles a day.
Okay.
That blows my mind every time I get stuck there. I don't know where these people are going, where they're coming from,
Bear Lake Flip.
but even in the wintertime, there's
Right,
too
right, right,
many. So,
right.
so if you're a car dealership and
That's
you're
where you
on
want
Main
it.
Street in Brigham City and
Okay.
you're getting 10,000 cars and you
Yeah.
can move over there for 24,000 books a day,
It's just real
you
estate.
move.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, alright.
absolutely.
So there's nothing that you're aware of being in city council that
No.
is like, "Oh, well, they got a tax deal and that's why they're in Perry." It's just location,
Yeah.
location,
And again,
location.
Ford is DEI would be the same.
Why would they want to be on that side instead of on the other side? Or is that because it's not zoned yet as far as
Well,
that
the other
goes?
side, one, it's developed,
Yeah.
right? On the south side, it's already developed.
Oh, so sorry.
You already have roads, you already have everything there to
Mhm.
go. So that makes it significant.
Do you know why Walmart went there instead of
I don't
on
know.
the other side?
I don't know.
It just
Yeah,
okay, that's
I
fair.
don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah. But that I mean, there is a tax increment for Walmart that comes to Brigham City because their parking lot is in Brigham City.
Okay.
So
We get some benefit.
yeah. 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 The Dodge dealership, we will miss them.
Yeah. Do you have any idea? Are we running into a Shopco issue with the Dodge dealership, the Ford dealership, and
I
yeah, I
got
don't know.
no idea what's gonna
We have
happen.
no idea what's going
Yeah.
on.
I mean, the DI leaving, that leaves the owners, whatever that strip mall is,
Yeah,
to try to fill that space.
probably expand the gym.
Yeah, maybe,
Is what it
maybe,
looks like.
yeah,
That's
maybe
about
that's
I
what
guess
they'll
it'd be.
do.
I don't know.
The other two, yeah, I have no idea. Those are pretty special buildings
Yeah.
to try to fill. So that
Yeah.
kind of becomes an issue. But
Yeah.
the world is the world, right? If somebody wants to
Apartments.
come there, if somebody wants to come to right Main Street, Brigham City, they will tear that down and build whatever they want to build.
Yeah, that's fair.
100%. They'll just, "Hey, this is what I want to do." And the blue heron thing, and you've talked about it.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, go for it.
and you have that post on your Facebook page. I noticed.
That's right. Yeah,
So you have the
the
very
map.
first iteration of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it shows apartments.
Yeah,
And when the city council
up
meeting,
to 4 stories high, if I'm correct.
I think so.
Yeah.
So in the city council meeting that you were at, that we did not do their
The zoning.
adjustment,
Mhm.
and it was just an adjustment of their lot. The zoning is already there
Mhm.
for it.
Right, right, right.
So to make that adjustment, they then changed all those apartments to townhomes,
Okay.
individually owned townhomes. about 107 of them.
So that's no longer any high density as far as the
Well, it
apartments
would
go.
still be considered high density
Oh, because they're
because they're
townhomes that
townhomes.
they're all
Yeah,
next to each
just
other.
like the North 40 golf
But
course,
instead of like 300 people living in that building, you've got, you know, maybe
individually owned.
half the amount
Yep,
and
individually owned townhome.
okay. Individual that's fair. Okay.
So,
People who are at least addressed as my concern of being invested in the community and having some
sure.
piece of real estate
Yep.
and
Yeah.
interest in the
There's
future.
other issues I have with it,
Yeah.
and that would be the safety. I mentioned
Mhm.
that. The safety coming out of trying to get that many people in and out of 1100 South.
Yeah.
That scares me.
Yeah, that's an issue, right?
I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
we already
Absolutely.
injure people at the Walmart intersection all
Mhm.
the time. So
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
so to do another one, it scares me. Not
Mhm.
a secondary way to get people in and out of there, but
Mhm.
we'll work around it,
Yeah.
right? We'll figure something out. And so that one is a little bit different. And there was comments made about commercial
Mhm.
and versus residential being right down there.
Mhm.
And I understand completely. I talked with uh, Representative Peterson, who came at me afterwards,
Mhm.
and I just asked him, I know you want the commercial, and we need the commercial there.
Mhm.
Brigham City's 5,000 people
Mhm.
that has grown in the last 30 years.
Mhm.
How long does it take before we get commercial
A
there?
business that's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
we need X amount of
a
employees and
Home
you don't have
Depot,
them."
a Lowe's, they're looking
Mhm.
for people. They're looking for communities that have 100,000 people.
Mhm.
We're by that rate, we're a couple hundred years away.
So then are you saying that they're without growing, eh, considerably, that commercial is essentially never gonna be commercial anyways?
So
If
I
I had my wish, let's say we grow at the same rate we've grown at, and in 20 years we'll add another 5,000 or
yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
You're saying that's just doesn't justify a commercial district then?
Well, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, are we willing to be okay with having that much commercial
Mhm.
and leaving it blank land
For a
for the
while.
next 20 years?
Yeah, yeah. I know my
Right?
answer. I know, yeah. Are you asking
Vers
me?
versus,
Yes.
right? Versus you have 100
Yeah.
townhomes valued at $400,000
Mhm.
and they're paying property tax just like you. They're paying utilities. They're paying
Mhm.
all of those things just like you and I are
Mhm.
to help mitigate some of the rising costs that we have.
Mm.
Now, are there costs involved with that? Sure. I mean, you have the infrastructure to get there, but it's going there anyway. It's
S
going to get there anyway.
so with the implication there was that if there are, new homes, how X amount of townhomes there, that they are a net benefit to the community versus a net drag on, like, the resources.
That's how I would view it.
That's how you'd view it.
That's how I would view it.
Okay.
You know, versus a
As
blank
as far as
versus a blank
resources
slate.
needed.
If you're saying, hey, this is holding out for great commercial, and Brigham City continues to grow. It's not going to,
Mhm.
right? 5,000 people over 30 years. That will
Yeah,
be different.
yeah,
Just so you know. So you're not surprised.
yeah.
That will be different.
It's going up, but yeah,
Yeah.
I know, I
The,
get it. I've seen it. I know.
yeah.
I've been here for years.
The Wasatch Front is coming this
Yeah,
way.
what is did we have that paper? Do you saw that
Yeah.
paper? Because I think it had from 2000 to 2004, which is about when I got here. So, yeah, like, I don't know, less than 1,000, I
Yeah.
guess. That's not crazy. Another 600 people or something. Okay.
So I mean, you have all those. So my view of that is the opportunity cost.
Mhm.
So is there a right or a wrong? I don't know if there's a right or wrong.
Yeah,
That's wildly
yeah.
individualistic.
Right, which would take it to the if it's not totally clear, then it'd be what does the populace want, right? Is that fair? If we can't decide, well, is it right or wrong? It's not obviously ethical decision as far as how many apartments should be
Sure.
in there or how many houses. Then would the community who votes for their elected representatives to say, hey, you know what, we've all decided
Sure.
we'd rather it be commercial for another 20 years and just sit blank
Reach
than
out.
have,
Yeah. You can talk to city
free
council
apartments built there.
100%.
Okay.
But if I'm representing as a city council member 20,000 people
Mhm.
and 5 people reach out to me and say, we don't want this,
Mhm.
what do I do with that?
Right. No, that's fair. Absolutely.
What do
Yeah,
I do with that?
that's something that's come up multiple times
Yeah.
is the communication
You know,
between city council.
if I have a whole bunch of people, it's a big deal.
Mhm.
Then I understand, okay, this is a big deal. This is probably a greater number of individuals
Mhm.
who would like me to do X. But if I've only got 3 or 4 people that have come to me and say, hey, this is not a good decision,
Mhm.
um, I don't know if they have all the information that I have.
Right. So
They can get it, but I don't know if they have it. And so they're making this off of an opinion of not in my backyard. I don't
Mhm.
want to have those.
Yeah.
And I understand that. Like I get it.
I'm a proud NIMBY. I'm all right with it. I don't know. If I'm not standing up for me and my kids, then I don't nobody is. So
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
let Ogden build the apartments. Let Logan. That's my philosophy. They can live in Ogden. They can live in Logan. They can go to Costco in Logan. They can go to Costco in Ogden.
I guess
but
that.
well, you can agree to disagree. Moving on. So looking at wanting to make sure that we can get this as close to the other ones, just so everybody's got
Time frame.
information.
Sure.
Yeah, time frame's shot. If you look at the ones we've got already. Sorry, Phil. Maybe I'll have to meet with you. But as far as transparency and accountability, kind of shifting gears here.
Sure.
What would your approach, or what has been your approach, and what would continue to be your approach with like accountability and transparency?
Um, is the city government not transparent? What
I
would
don't
you
know.
like to know that you don't
I don't know.
know? Okay.
I'm
So my opinion and things I've seen is
Mhm,
the city is very transparent.
mhm,
People are concerned with monies and all these things.
mhm,
That stuff is very regulated,
mhm,
very regulated. We um, publish quarterly reports into the state, mon- um, explaining. Sorry, it took me a minute to get there. Explaining exactly what it is that we've done with the money.
mhm,
So we create our budgets. We do our best to stay within those budgets,
mhm,
and that transparency is if whatever it is you would like to know,
mhm.
let's get you that information.
Okay.
So really, I struggle, and that again will not be a popular opinion.
Mhm.
Um, I struggle with that word transparency because I don't. In the experience that I've had,
And this is just to be fair, this is not an indictment.
no,
I'm not trying to attack you
no,
here. I'm not
I'm
waiting so
just
comfortable. I just if you wanted to present a message to the people who are gonna be watching
yeah,
this video as far as where's that at, and that's
there
where
is
you're going with it
information.
then.
Yep, there's
Yep.
information out there. Again, and people have said, well, I don't the website, the web when we
Yeah.
keep pointing people to the website,
Yeah.
and I don't know how much I don't know how much we this is going to be a terrible term. I don't know how much we spoon feed or handhold to
Mhm.
get people to do what it is that they need to do to
Mhm.
have the information that they want
Mhm.
because the information is out there.
Right, but sifting through and getting to it
Yeah, sifting
is
sometimes
varies.
it's difficult for me. I've been here
Mhm.
for 3.5 years,
Mhm.
right? I had somebody call me about a dog something or other, like, hey, what can we do about this? And I'm like, well, let me look and see. And it took me a minute.
Mhm.
I got there eventually, but it did take me. There's a lot of information there.
So what was the question? Sorry, it's something
It
about a
was something
dog?
about a dog. They had a neighbor with a dog, and
They wanted to know what
so
the rules were.
yeah, they wanted to know what was legit or not legit. So
Mhm.
anyway,
How many dogs can
an
this guy
angry
have?
an angry dog, essentially.
Okay.
So I was like, "Oh, well, here's what our code is." But it took me a minute, and so
Right,
some of that stuff will take a little bit of time.
right, but
It's not gonna be
that's
everything you're looking for isn't the first thing you pull up. Darn it,
right.
right? How much time would that save?
When are you gonna make a
Yeah.
TikTok, I think is what it comes down to. If we've got Ryan Smith with TikToks of your frequently asked
There you go.
questions,
Yeah.
maybe we've got that.
I look at the transparency and I look at the accountability. I think what you're doing here
Mhm.
is a great example of what people can do,
Right, and should
right?
do.
And
Yeah.
should do. Absolutely. I'm grateful that you're doing this. This I think you can do a better job than if we asked somebody at the city and tasked somebody with the city and used more city resources
Yeah,
and more city staff time to do
that's
it,
fair.
that you would have a bigger impact. That's my opinion.
No,
You are going to have a bigger impact than if we can.
I
People
think
from the
that's
city
fair.
aren't going to trust that. They don't, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's the news. I don't know if it's
It's government.
wherever it is.
It's
Nobody
government.
trusts the government. That's exactly right. It's the government. Yeah.
George
Yeah.
Washington, Thomas Jefferson, any just ringing a bell.
Yeah. Great. The city's got a podcast, right? We're not going to listen to that. It's all watered down.
That's
You
right.
know?
Propaganda.
Right. That's right. You're going to hear what we want you to hear.
That's
So,
right.
so with someone
You
like
love
you,
Big
yeah,
Brother.
with someone like you, I think I love it. I think this is a great idea.
Thank you.
You should keep going.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
We'll see
do
how
it.
it goes.
Do it. I mean, anytime, and the mayor said this as well publicly.
Yeah.
If you want to have a town hall meeting, and we have, so you've talked about communications
Mhm,
and coming from the city, and I think Matt talked to you a little bit about that
mhm.
website. We've got the app.
Yep, yep.
We've got Facebook posts. Nobody
Mhm,
actually. I haven't been on Facebook for 3 years.
mhm.
Okay, which coincides
Good for you.
which coincides coincidentally with me being elected, right?
You have no time.
I'm like, "Sorry, I'm
I
not
can't
doing
do
this,"
this.
right?
Yeah.
So, my 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 thought process is there's a lot of people that see a post from the city and instantly go to the comments,
Mhm. There's truth there.
and
Absolutely.
so they don't really know
Yeah.
what's
I
happening.
don't know what this is, but people are pissed off.
Yeah.
What is
So,
that?
my favorite story is the guy that posts his utility bill. It's like, "My utility bill doubled,"
Yeah.
and it was 15 comments before someone's like, "Well, you didn't pay it last
Yeah.
month, no wonder it's doubled."
Yeah, Matt literally told me that. She's like, "Best comment I've ever seen."
Yeah,
It's like, my bills doubled, that's not and then he said right next to the second iteration of 250 was past due.
so, and those are stories I hear, right? Because 'Cause I'm not on that, I'm like, that's pretty
Right,
funny.
right,
That type of communication coming from the city, I think
yeah,
is done better with
yeah.
citizens
The
to go out
citizens
and
need
do
to
it.
step
But
up,
the
that's
mayor,
fair.
going back to that, the mayor has
Yeah.
said, "If you want to know some stuff, if you have a couple or 3, subjects that you would really like to know about,
Mhm.
and you've got 10 friends, pull
Yeah.
them together, he'd be more than happy to meet with you and go over it." I would too.
Okay,
For me, that's
good to know.
great stuff.
Yeah, we could
Do it.
probably pull something off like
I'm more
that.
than happy. More than happy to come and do it.
Okay, that's good to know.
We've had a couple,
Yeah.
12 people have showed up,
Right, that's fair, and
so
again,
that's
address with Matt as well.
discouraging,
Yeah, right. How
right?
many
It's
times are we gonna do this
discouraging.
and have 3 people, the same 3
Yep.
people show
Yeah.
up and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Over
yeah.
and over. But
Those 3 people should really dictate the future of the
that's
city." That's
right.
all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Those are the 3 ridiculous.
They're the only ones care apparently.
So all of those things.
Being one of them that's self-serving.
So
So,
that's my thoughts about accountability.
fair
Um,
enough.
I the
Mhm.
city, I know people don't believe it,
Yeah,
and I don't understand why.
yeah. I
But the
think
city works very hard to make sure
yeah,
that they are transparent and that they are accountable for the things that we're doing. Sometimes we're mortal men.
yeah, no,
Every
and
one of us is. We're going to make a mistake. Every one of us is going to
Mhm,
make a mistake. And I hope that, as far as the city goes, that, yeah, we can make the city will make mistakes.
mhm,
Okay. But I hope that those mistakes are mitigated, caught, and changed before they get too out of hand.
yeah.
But see, you would say mistakes would be we put up apartment buildings at the Shopko.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, right?
in as much as we had control over it. Yeah, but no, but I think, I wanna go back to something you said as far as, uh one of the things that I've gotten out of this, just interviewing the 4 candidates, right? So 2 of them which are on city council and 2 that are looking to, is that I have gotten the feeling that, you want what's best for community, right? You're all bought in. This isn't, uh I'll admit, I am prone to conspiracy theories, but, like, none of you strike me as like, cutting back deals with, the people who are building the blue heron apartments. Be like, all right, I get, what's my cut, my percentage, right? Is that you're all very so far genuine, and obviously you're bought into the community, and it's just my lack. This has been me diving into, I guess, the politics of the city and the city's government, and it's been my first attempt at it, or at least being able to figure out how to get in there. Like, you say call, and it's like, well, why would I call? You know, Clay Smith. Why would I call? Councilman Smith. I don't know, unless I'm gonna like complain. But I don't know. Like, it didn't ever feel like natural. But like, that is, I think, the answer is getting to know you and saying, hey, this is a concern I have. We can pound out the details and some sort of compromise, and at least you know where I'm coming from, and I might learn some things. And I don't know that that's happening. There's probably a handful of people there, and everybody else is living their lives. But I think that that is a real key to it, is getting to know the people who are on the city council and those who are involved, and then
I'm
taking
not
that time.
different than you are.
Right, 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 absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'm a guy that lives in
I
Brigham
like
City.
his T-shirt. I really want one of those.
I'm a guy that lives in Brigham City
Mhm.
that decided to run for city council,
Right.
and I got there. I ran twice. The
And
first time I did.
and you're trying to make a good impact on the
Yes.
future of the
Yeah,
city.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Brigham City is a great place. We have so many great resources here.
Mhm.
So many great resources. People love Brigham City. From all over the world, people love Brigham City. Hey, we have something special.
Can you
Do
can you
you think the
articulate that a
city
little more? I think that's a good thing to focus on. I can think of the things that I like. I know I like the parks. and some other things. But is
We
there
all love
your city council? You've got a bigger view of the city. What are some of the specific things you're talking?
okay, so I'm not I don't know the names of all these things.
Okay.
Okay. So, but we have people that contact us, our economic development
Hmm.
team. We have people that contact them 2, 3 times a week looking to bring their businesses to Brigham City.
Hmm.
Okay. And we're not talking cover up embroidery and screen printing,
Yeah.
right? We're not talking those
Zupas?
are those
Zupas? Not
I don't
Zupas?
know. I don't know. You're gonna have to look and see. Maybe
Right.
we don't have enough people that we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
ship them.
That's all right. It's a price I'm willing to pay. We got a panda coming. Also,
You're gonna have to
toast to
drive
be there and panda and whatever.
sorry.
Yep, or Ogden.
Yep. But
Yep.
things that have great you look at Nucor.
Yeah.
They're a great community partner. And they have what, 4 divisions here now?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, building a fourth or fifth one, whichever one that is. They love it here. They love it here. And they bring great jobs to Brigham City. And those types of things, people are looking at Brigham City because we have a great community.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things that I've seen that's been eye-opening to me
Okay.
since I've been on the city council is that no is knowing
There's a lot of interest in
yeah,
the city,
yeah,
particularly
absolutely.
in the
We have great
big world
we
of
have
things.
great
People are
rail
looking for
access.
him.
We have an airport. The rail goes right through here. All of those things are very important to people that want to bring a good business.
Mm. Access to those
Yep,
resources. That's cool.
absolutely. Makes it easy for them. It makes it great for us because they come in, they provide a tax base, they provide all of these things, utilities that helps offset your cost and my cost.
Mhm.
They help pay for those things
The
that we do.
infrastructure is already there for the businesses to come in. All right, and then I did want to get to this one. I think I this is my personal question that I just wanted to include in here. Is I'm just gonna stack them on top of each other, and you can answer it how you see
Okay,
fit. You've
I'm gonna
seen this
write it
one,
down.
yeah.
You write this
You
down.
can take a look at it. I got my notes here. Where do you get your moral bearings? And then Brigham City is a religious community. How do your religious beliefs influence how you represent the people, if at all?
Wow, kind of my moral bearings. Hmm, okay. So America, the United States of America, my mind, one of the greatest countries in the world. We have so many opportunities.
You're really channeling Charlie right
It
now.
drives it drives me. I know people
Mhm.
that are not very proud of where it is that they
Mhm.
does does the United States of America, do we make mistakes? People in America?
Yeah,
Absolutely. We've made mistakes.
yeah.
We're a young country, okay? But we have opportunities. We have tons of opportunities. Where else do you go that we can do stuff like this? And where else can you go that a Joe Blow like me can be on the city council? You know, and so the founding fathers channeled their belief in God to write a constitution and to start a country. Um, I am proud of that. I'm proud to live in America. I'm proud to live in Utah, and I'm proud to live in Brigham City. Um, so my moral bearings come from one, being taught by great parents
Mhm.
who taught me what was right and what was wrong, and to love where it is that I am. So that's one of those things that I have. I credit my parents for that. They um, they respectfulness. And if I wasn't respectful. That I mean, we're talking teachers, which I wasn't great in school, but right, but I would hear it. I would hear it from my parents if I wasn't. So I learned to change myself and make sure that I was respectful, respectful to police officers, respectful to my seniors, respectful to all those people. So my moral bearings come from that. Does it come from my religion? 100%
Yeah.
as well. Yes, it does. Um, do I believe that there are great people that have great moral compasses that are not a part of my religion?
Mhm.
Absolutely, 100%. There are great people all over the world. That's what makes the United States great. So that's where I kind of get a lot of that stuff. My moral bearings and all those. I just want to do what I honestly want to do what's right. I really do. And my opinion of what might be right in the city government might be different than yours,
Yeah.
and that's okay, right?
Right, that's not a moral distinction, that's a it's
Yeah,
opinion,
yeah,
not a
right, yeah, yeah. And
We're
so,
not
yeah,
advocating
yeah,
for some horrific atrocities.
yes.
Again, apartments aren't that bad.
So, so I use that, and I try to use this is, I mean, and I, at the risk of sounding better than I really am, and I know my own shortcomings.
Mhm,
So, but I try, we have prayer before every city council meeting. That is important to me. I love when people that are not part of my religion come and say prayers at city council meeting. I love it.
mhm.
It's so fun for me to listen to them because they have that belief in Jesus Christ and in God as well. And I don't want to get out, I don't want to turn this into some
Well, that's kinda why
religion
I asked
podcast,
it, so
but
that's I
um,
think it's an important part. The reason I bring this up for our listeners, I think it's important, and I think that it should at least play a part uh, in the governing of our city. I think that a lot of the issues that our country's going through, I think in some cases our state's going through, and I think that that all kind of comes from the foundation and building it up, so that if we start here and we can acknowledge that, and I agree 100%. The diversity of religion in the city, I think, is great. You don't have to be my religion to be good. We in fact really are trying to span that gap between uh, the predominant religion, right, Mormonism, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, um, into our Christian brothers and sisters,
yeah,
and I think that's important, and I think that you know
that's a common ground. The
focusing
common
on
ground we can work
biblical
with.
values,
Yeah,
and so I think it's important, and that's I think, like you were saying, we do pray at the city council meetings, and that if we're not, what is the Benjamin Franklin quote, right? If a sparrow cannot fall without God's notice, can a country rise without His aid? I think that applies at the city, at the state, and at the federal government, and that's why I brought it up. And if you don't like that stuff, well, don't watch
yeah,
the podcast.
I believe there's a revelatory inspiration concept to that as well.
Yeah,
Right. It,
be inspired with whatever decisions you're
yes,
making. Is
whatever,
this really
whatever it is. Yeah. And
absolutely?
when you're sitting in those city council members in your room and you're in those meetings and somebody says a prayer and they are praying to an almighty God that you can have revelation. You can make good decisions. Oh, it calms me down, one, and it helps me because I really believe that. I really believe that can happen.
Yeah,
And it doesn't matter if that's me sitting up there or someone else. We can be inspired.
absolutely.
So that is important. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to say on that topic before we move on?
No, no.
All right. How do you differ from your peers on the current city council?
Um, I ask Matt Jensen what I have great hair. I have the best hair.
I
Okay.
believe it. I can see it.
Yeah,
I
Robin's got really good hair.
yeah.
But second, so that's what differentiates.
Little apples and oranges there, but
Yes,
yes.
yes. So I don't know that there's a whole bunch. We have a great city council. The people that are on there are thoughtful individuals. Um, my experiences with Brigham City and with Box Elder County, and there are others on there. I have a home here as everybody else does, but I have two commercial buildings that I own, and so the decisions that we make that impact that as well impacts me directly.
Mhm.
And so differentiating maybe a little bit because I have that and they don't,
Yeah,
but that's not a huge
let's dig into that because
disadvantage.
I did notice on your kind of blurb on the city page, whatever,
Yep.
you did talk about having a business in the city. I think that that's gets to experience that you have that you're on the other side of the table sometimes because you own a business in the city and are seeing how that impacts. What kind of perspective has that given you? Is there experience there? Is there something that differentiates you because of that, or is it not that big of a deal?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I would say I'm just a little bit more aware and cognizant of some of the commercial things that we do,
Mm,
understanding that the commercial and residential needs to be different.
mm,
You know, I we let's talk about utilities.
okay.
Okay, what do you think about the utilities in Brainerd?
I don't know. I always feel like I spend too much, but everybody says that,
But you're
and
just
I don't
spending
know what
more.
it's relative to.
Yeah, yeah,
I'd rather not spend
yeah.
anything, so
So
I have no frame of reference outside of
we
I'd
have
like it less.
the cheapest utilities in all of Box Elder.
Yeah.
Power, water, sewer. They're all, and some of them are by a long ways. The only one that I could find that had water that was cheaper was Garland.
Mm,
You go further south, and it gets worse. So those when those impacts come, I
mhm,
guess where I was heading with that was the commercial side of that. The commercial things are the ones that help us pay for the good things in this. You know, you have things like we have a Niagara
Mm.
bottling plant,
Right, right.
right? And the revenue that the city gets from their utilities and whatnot helps to pay for a lot of our public service. You look at, you know, all of, even our property tax. We all hate, it, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody
Taxes.
out there that you're
Speaking
like,
of George
yeah,
Washington, Ben
man,
Franklin and the boys,
nobody,
taxes.
nobody's excited about
Right.
it. You know, I'm not excited. Again, I've got two commercial buildings in Box Elder County,
Mhm.
and yeah, I got those tax notices and went,
Well,
ah, darn it,
you gotta
right?
pay for more
Yeah,
because of the school
yeah,
district.
sure. But but I'm like, all right, what do I do? Right? What do I do with it?
Mhm.
And so what do I do with it? I don't know that I know the answer to that question.
As
I
far
have
as
to pay
what?
them. I have to pay them,
Oh yeah, you pay them.
you know, but then how do I continue on? And that weighs heavily on me as well. When you look at having commercial buildings, having a home, knowing people that are struggling in our communities, you know, those decisions are not ever made lightly.
As far
As
as
far as utilities, as far as taxes, as far as any of that stuff.
gotcha.
You know, and we're constantly like I know the city's always constantly, as I said before, people want to come to Brigham. We're looking for partners to help mitigate those costs that
Mhm.
our residents pay.
Yeah, to share the load.
Yep.
You mentioned your mom with the company.
Yeah.
Does she live in Brigham too?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
No, it's
She
not a
lives.
big deal. I just, you have, but you have family, you have kids, you have buy-in into the community is the
Yeah.
point I was going to make
Yes.
if she did, but it doesn't matter. Either way, it doesn't change anything. So,
And the community is great.
right.
I will go back to that. I really think your community is your people.
Mhm.
You can have apartment complexes.
Yeah. That's
You know, neighborhoods that do great things. You mentioned talking to your neighbors. I'm terrible at that.
yeah.
I'm terrible
Yeah.
at that. I've got neighbors that live kitty corner kind of from me. I
Yeah.
said hello one time. We wave at each other,
Right.
you know, but I've never had a conversation. That's
But they would
embarrassing.
change every 6 months if it was an apartment. That's what I'm
Maybe,
saying.
yes, maybe.
So you'd be saying
And that would
hi
be
to
great
different
diversity,
people
right?
like
Then I
that.
have more friends that I can
Mhm.
not talk to.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay. And then we touched on this again, giving you a chance to say more if you'd like. What experience do you have that has made you or will make you a good city council
Well, 3.5 years so far.
member?
3.5 years of experience. People would argue. I mean, there are people out there that are like, Brian Smith, go ahead, right? And to some extent, they're right. I'm not going to argue that much with that. But again, the experience that I've had, the time and the effort that I put into it,
Mm,
and I'm not saying like I'm better than any of those because they all
mm.
do it. All the city council members, believe it or not, put forth time and effort into helping the city. That's what every one of them want.
I get that vibe. Yeah.
So we're not in there. There's nobody there that's like, this is what I want to do.
Hmm.
You mentioned get back from the blue heron, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody doing that. There's
Right.
nobody locked into any of that stuff. I probably have the most as far as business relationships that affect me in a city. Right? There are decisions that have to be made that I'm like, ugh, I I that that guy is my friend and I do business with him. How
Hmm.
do I mitigate? What do I do now?
Hmm.
You know, but everybody else is very free and very able to make those decisions to help the greater good of the community,
Yeah.
and that's what they're doing.
Not having conflict of interest.
Yes, yeah, that's what they're doing. Um, it's my again 3.5 years. I've worked. I'm not afraid to say that I've worked hard.
Mm.
I've worked hard. I've worked hard to know what it is that I know about our city and to help to make the best decisions that I think will help everyone in Brigham City.
Yeah. Matt had mentioned, I think this was another podcast I haven't posted yet, that you've gone to great lengths to try to understand the financial aspects of things. He said that's kind of his strength, and he said, "I've helped Matt. I've sat with Matt for hours. Okay, help me answer this question. Help fill me in. Help me see this." And he said he put a lot of time into that.
Matt,
So
Matt Jensen's Matt Jensen's great. He really is, and yeah, I was so grateful to have an accountant come in at the same time as me, so I could use him.
yeah,
And I said, Matt, oh, man, I don't understand this. These
right.
numbers are bigger than I've ever seen in
I'm
my
gonna
life.
have to vote on
Yeah,
stuff. I need to
huh?
know what's going
You know,
on
they
here.
hand you a
Fill me
budget, and
in.
it's got millions of dollars. You know what I've never seen? $1 million, right?
Yeah, ads. Seems like a lot. Probably shouldn't do that, you guys.
Yeah. Let's bring that down.
What's our total?
I'm knocking 0 off of that so I can understand what's happening. Yeah, so he helped me out a ton, and that is great. He's pretty thoughtful. The money stuff he understands and gets, and it's good to be able to lean on him. And they all have great strength.
Mhm.
And I appreciate him saying that. That's very kind of him.
Yeah.
Very very kind of him. I would say the same thing about him. He does a good job. But yeah, I'm not afraid to say that I've worked hard.
Yeah. Good.
I've
That's
worked hard to know what I know.
absolutely. That's good to hear. Again, something we don't get from the city council if you don't go and talk. You don't have conversations that are so far an hour long.
Yeah.
You don't get
know,
that.
yeah.
You can't get it off of Facebook, certainly.
We had a couple of years ago. We had a citizen come into the city council chambers, and he was concerned about some. Again, I think it was probably a property tax increase in the
Mhm.
budget. And he came in, and one of the things he said, because he had moved from further south into our community, and he's like, "I'm sitting here after a city council meeting,
Mhm.
and I'm talking."
Which is already like 3 hours long.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly. Just remember that when you feel excited about going. He's like, and I'm talking to the police chief. I've got 2 city council members here and the mayor. And he's like, I would never be able to do that in a community.
Mm,
That would never ever happen. And we're accessible.
yeah,
I mean, I'm
gotten that.
probably the most accessible because I have a business on
Just go in.
that's open Monday through
He
Friday.
can't
Right?
say no if
Sometimes
you ask him a question about T-shirts first.
all my employees are like, dude, what is going on out there? And I'm like, sorry, they asked some questions.
I'm talking with my
Yeah,
constituents.
that's right. That's right. And I love it. I do. I've had people come in, and I really do. They come in, they challenge me, which I like.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's not aggressive stuff.
No, it's not.
I know.
People are very kind.
I've seen too much Parks and Recreation.
right,
Is
yeah.
probably what it is.
Yeah.
I made tea from the sprinkler water and I got sick, and it's your fault.
That's right. Sir, are you listening? Sir, are you listening?
Sir, that's right. Go do that. No, don't harass our councilman.
My round.
All right, and I think you've touched on this, but again, just wanting to make sure you get time to speak on that. The thing that you're most proud of, I'm guessing it's the fire truck,
So
based on
far,
what you said.
yeah, I feel like a
That
little
you were
boy,
able to,
right? I'm a little kid.
you're like, ah,
Hey, a fire truck,
that's
what I do? But
Yeah.
to me, that was
Did
important.
they let you drive it?
No,
No. Did they let you ride in it?
they would let me ride in it if I
Yeah.
wanted to. Yes, yeah. Parades when we had out in a couple of parades and stuff. So I could have ridden in it then, but parades are more fun when you're waving and throwing candy at people, and they think you're way cooler than if you're riding in the fire.
Yeah.
I have sat in
Probably
that.
feels cooler
Yeah,
to ride in the fire truck.
I've sat and got up on it.
Push the
Got
buttons.
it. I didn't push any buttons. I didn't do that. But yeah,
Got to be an adult when you're city
yeah.
councilman.
I'm a little boy because I love the fire
That's right.
truck.
In 4 years, he's gonna go back. You're like, I need to touch all the buttons I couldn't like 4 years ago.
Also, I'm sure the Brigham City staff's going to bring a little fire truck. I mentioned that.
That's
One of the
right.
great things. Give me a hard time. Yeah.
Put it on your desk for sure. Let's see here. I was proud of. Let's see here. You've your statements on the website. I just keep saying the website. I hope you all know what I'm talking about. This
Brigham City website.
the Brigham City website, where they have the information about the candidates for city council. Says you've seen the impact of government's decisions on business, the economy, and the daily lives of people who live here. Like, what have you seen? Is there, again, trying to get back to this? You have a business here in the city. Is there added perspective there that you might have as far as seeing the government decisions or the impacts on anything, or anything you want to say that's remotely related to
Absolutely.
that question?
Yeah. So if you go back to that question and you talk about Brigham City utilities,
Mhm.
so it's a big deal to me. My mind is a lot on utilities. How do we keep those costs down? What is it that we do?
Because those are real costs for the businesses. Is that the idea?
Yeah. My power. I could tell you what my power bill is at my shop. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I've got 2 ovens. Sometimes they're running 8 hours a day at 320 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you have an air conditioner trying to mitigate heat from those things.
So you don't have sweatshop conditions
so
for your employees.
yeah. So that impacts me, those decisions. And our utility, and people talk about utility transfer,
Mm-hmm.
utility transfer going from our utility department into our general fund.
Matt addressed that last 5 minutes of my last
Okay.
episode, so I don't know if you wanna go into that anymore,
I
but
mean,
he kinda explained how that
he
goes.
probably did a great job. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And mitigating that, the mayor has taken that from 15% to 12%.
yeah.
So I see those costs and all of those and everything that we do as far as work and everything. The sewer costs that commercial rates are paying, I'm paying those sewer rates. So the power costs that I'm paying, are the ones the commercial rates that everyone else is paying. And so trying to keep that, so it also helps me to keep that in focus when we do that to make sure that Brigham City is a great place for small businesses.
Mhm,
Okay, Niagara, Nucor, Autoleave, those guys do great things for us.
mhm.
But our small businesses are, I mean, really, that's our backbone.
Right, and you need conditions, that are conducive
Yep.
to that otherwise they can't stay. We saw in 2020, 21, 22, if you don't have good conditions for companies, they
Yes.
just go out they go
Yeah.
out of
They're
business.
done.
Yeah.
They're done. And I've been on Main Street in Brigham City long enough to have seen, um, 21 years. I remember when there were many empty shops on Main Street, many empty shops. I it was crazy cheap what I was paying for rent when we first started. Uh, Able to purchase my own building, there over a decade or so ago was was beneficial for us. But to see what it does now, there are not very many empty buildings on
That's
Main Street anymore. And with a good Main Street, you have a good thriving Main Street, which we can do better at. Really, I'm I'm terrible at it, but we have great people, businesses on Main Street that do really good things. If you have a lively, what I'm trying to say, Main Street that does a lot of good business,
mm,
it can bring a tax base as much as a Walmart does.
mm,
So so the main streets are very important to communities.
yeah. Makes me think, I don't know about you guys, I don't go walking down Main Street as much as I probably should to see what businesses are there and to support the local businesses, I think is an important thing. Obviously, you don't have to break your piggy bank to go.
You go to a movie, right? And
Right,
then
yeah.
you can grab some eyebrows candy
Yeah.
and some Bud Ryan.
Yeah, there you go. Add that to the checklist. Get that on your bingo card. No, absolutely, I appreciate that. So that is good, and it sounds like that would be, I think, definitely a point in your favor as far as being able to see the real impact. You have a very, you've got your hand on the pulse as far as how is this going to affect my business, and if it affects my business, it's going to affect other businesses. And we do want, I think, a community that is conducive to
Yeah.
having other businesses.
And it becomes me an obsession almost. Look,
Yeah.
my wife won't let me look at our utility bill anymore. She's like, "No, you can't. Stop it. I'm not letting you watch." And I'm like, what did we spend in power? What do you mean?" And she's like, "Stop looking."
That's a classic dad
Yeah.
thing. Turn the temperature down.
Yeah. That's exactly right. All right, air conditioning's got to go up, you guys.
That's right. Sorry. We just can't deal with this right now. So it's 78 degrees in here. You're just gonna have
Yeah,
to deal with
that's
it.
right.
All right. Yeah, I think that covers all of the questions
Okay.
I had. Anything else you would like to discuss um,
You know,
to get out there? So, assuming there are people that are watching still.
yes,
Uh,
yeah. So, yeah, no, I don't think so. I think there were some things. Um, One of the things I was just noticing about a podcast, and which is, again, thank you for doing this. I think it's great. I really do. One of those things is that it's out there right now.
Mhm.
So every time I've opened my mouth tonight, I'm like, oh my word, this is going to live in infamy for forever. At this point, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I don't want to. How do you say that? There are some maybe a couple of corrections that need to be made
Hmm.
before. Um, I want people to know we haven't bought power from Rocky Mountain Power in since probably 2014.
Okay.
We use their transmission lines.
Was that something that somebody brought up in another
Yeah,
podcast?
yeah, and I'm not
Okay.
going to say
That's fine.
it. But just so people
We
know,
don't buy power from Rocky Mountain
right,
Power is what
right,
you're trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
clarify.
We have some of our own power things that we purchased
Mhm.
out. If you look on the agenda for this week, apparently we have an option to buy some solar from a solar farm and a battery place. But I just wanted to make that stuff like that
Yeah.
clear.
Just a little
Um,
fact
yeah,
details so you
just
can
little details like that. Our commercial stuff. Um, uh, Anyway, we buy power out on the open market. Yeah, we haven't done that. As far as like a power, we have increased our power rates every year for the last 4 years in July.
Define power rates, because when I hear that, that sounds like we're paying more for power, and I don't think that's what you're saying.
You as a citizen are paying more.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've increased those rates.
Yes. Yeah. We were on a very quick pace of bankrupting our city
Okay.
power wise.
And so
Power
that's
rates.
why we had to increase
Yeah.
those rates.
Yeah. And instead of doing it all at one time, this was my first summer, my first July of being a city council member. This came up.
Hmm.
And so we had elected to follow a 4-year plan
Instead of all at once.
instead of all at one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was trying to correct something that we talked
Yeah.
about earlier. Okay.
Yeah. That was trying to get, hey, look, we're not solved. We're going to run into some problems
Hmm.
if we don't increase some of this. So that we are building.
Right. That
Yeah.
we gotta,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
budget.
that would be one of the reasons why the way your power bill might feel like it's a little bit more in August. Not to
Mhm.
mention the air conditioning. But I just wanted to make a couple of those things clear
Okay.
as far as that goes. Um, yeah. Again, reach out. Every one of your city council members.
Yeah.
I don't know who Dave Jeffries talks to all the time. That guy's always telling me, "Yeah, I ran into so and so," and there. I'm like, "Wow, good for you." I think people forget that. I mean, obviously, which is probably easy to do.
But yeah, and I would like to. I'll probably do a now after talking to him, maybe a podcast about how to get better involved in the community from a citizen standpoint, because I think it's important. If I've learned anything from interviewing the four of you, it's I think that this interpersonal thing is something that our community lacks. Not Brigham particularly, but I think with the age of technology, it's easier to complain on
Yep,
Facebook than it is go talk
100%. Yep,
to Ryan. But I think it's vastly more important to have a 15-minute conversation with each of the candidates, uh, so that you can get a feel for what they're like and if they're going to represent you well.
yeah.
So I do appreciate you being on my podcast.
I love
Um,
it. Thank you. No, I was excited to come in and do it. I think it's great. Continue to do it. I'll come back.
I appreciate that. I thank you. Let's see here. And then, where can people find you if they'd like to know more or support you
You're at work. Won't work.
at work? So,
No, so yeah, I've got my email address at the city, which I all the time forget what it is. It's rsmith at bcutah.org, maybe.
all right, I'll put it in the
Yeah,
description.
yeah, that's my
I'll
email.
find it.
My phone number is on there as well. That's my cell phone.
Okay.
And again, don't don't take advantage of it, but I'm okay with you coming to my shop.
Yeah. Come
If I'm super busy, I'll just tell you, hey, let's pick a time and get together.
schedule something.
Yeah, I've I've gone to Peach City with people before. They're like, "Hey, we want to talk." I'm like, "All right, let's do it right after work. I'll meet you at Peach City. Let's get a drink and some fries or something, and
Stop.
let's chat. What
Cool.
do you want to talk about?" So
Absolutely. Have your own questions.
yeah,
Mm,
hey, come up with some questions. Come get me. Let's go get a fizz. Let's go get twisted sugar. Whatever.
yeah.
I'm down to drink some soda.
So,
I'm not,
absolutely.
I'm not opposed to that.
Sounds good right now. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, I appreciate that. And then remember, everybody, get informed, get involved. I think I'm going
Absolutely.
to add vote here in November. We've got our ballots coming up, and then turn to the Lord in all things. Thanks again.
Thank you.